Hey guys, welcome back to Kitchen Court Cases, where we watch court in my kitchen. We are visiting one of my favorite judges today. This is Judge Cass Callaway out of Mansfield, Texas. And this is one of the most organized courts I've ever seen, and I think you will enjoy. There's a couple of special gems in this one. So sit back, relax, and enjoy small town Texas court.
No, hold on, sir. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I have a question. Is it okay if I talk with him?
I have no idea who you are. Are you his attorney?
I'm his mother.
Oh, okay. What questions do you have, ma'am?
For deferred, will that go on his record? For insurance, we're trying to, if he could take the defensive driving, we'd like to do that and not go on his record. Do we have that option?
Well, let's go over the options again, okay? He has the option of pleading not guilty if he wants to contest his case and go forward and have a trial of the matter. Everyone has a constitutionally protected right to a trial if they so choose. That's one option. He can say, Judge Callaway, I'm not guilty, and we'll get him scheduled for trial. Okay. The other option is to plead no contest or guilty. They're both treated the same under the law. And with no contest or guilty, he's giving up his right to trial. And he'd be asking the court for what's called deferred disposition. Commonly, it's known as probation. And with that, he is under the age of 25 years old. So with that, he would have to take what's called a driving safety course. It's a 6-hour class done online. He would also, as a part of the deferred disposition, have to not get any new offenses while he's on that deferred. So again, he'd have to take the class, he'd have to not get new offenses, and then he would have to pay the fine and court costs, which are $329. Or if he's not able to pay the $329, he can also do community service hours in lieu of payment of the fine if he's indigent, doesn't have a job, or doesn't have access to the money. With the deferred disposition option, if he successfully completes everything the court orders him to do, then it creates what's called a dismissal of his case. With the dismissal of his case, it does not get reported to Texas DPS for his driving record purposes. And with that, it also would not have any negative consequence in terms of suspension of his license or insurance or otherwise. And that's, again, if he's successful with the deferred and doesn't get new offenses, gets the class done, and either gets his money paid or community service completed. His last option that's available is he can enter a plea of guilty or no contest and just simply pay the fine and court cost, that $329. However, if he does that, it does create a conviction, which is the opposite of a dismissal. And with a conviction, it would get reported to Texas DPS and it would go on his record. So those are the options.
Sorry, you had to explain that again. Deferred, please.
No, it's my job. I'm glad. We want everyone, when they leave court, when they come to our court and they leave, we want them to know what their options are, and that they got a fair shake. So don't apologize for us going over it again. We're glad to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're a very good attorney. All right. So, sir, which of those options would you like to do?
To get it deferred, please.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this. How long, sir, do you think you need to get the class completed?
Less than a week, probably. Probably a week.
Okay, I like your optimism, but let's do 30 days, okay?
Okay.
That'll give you plenty of time.
Yes, sir.
Now, the fine and court cost, that $329, are you able to pay that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you need any time to pay that?
30 days.
Okay. And of course, no new offenses here in the city. And I'm going to make the deferred period a 60-day period, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir?
I said thank you.
You're welcome. Now, if you get all that done, it does create that dismissal. It'll happen automatically. You don't need to come back to court for any reason. But drive safe, okay? Slow down in the school zones, particularly.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, we're going to get you over there to the breakout room. Do you have any questions for the court about anything we've talked about?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
I heard that your lawyer's trying to tell you to tell me thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
I really like your mom. She's fantastic. All right. I'll get you guys over there to the breakout room at this time. You'll see that pop up. And thank you both for being on Zoom with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next up we have Antoinette Coates. If you could unmute, Antoinette.
Hi.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm trying to spell your first name. It's spelled different. Okay, there we go.
It is. It's Antoinette.
All right. It looks like you have a charge and allegation from January 28th. It's for speeding 49 and a 35. With that, you heard all those options earlier. Do you have any questions on those options?
No, sir.
Okay. And which of those options would you like to do?
The deferred, please.
Okay. All right. And it looks like that for your case, there are fine and court costs that total $239. Are you able to pay that?
Can I get at least 30 days to pay it?
Would that be enough? 30 days?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do a deferred for 60 days. So from today's date for 60 days, do not get any new offenses here in Mansfield. Get that money paid within 30 days, and then it'll create a dismissal automatically. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions for the court?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. I will get you over to the breakout room at this time, and you'll see that pop up that'll say join. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. All right. Next up, we have Ortiz Eloy. If you could please unmute. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. All right. Looks like you have just one case pending. And it's an allegation of parking in a handicap spot. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with that, your options are to go to trial and contest it. You can do the no contest or guilty and do the deferred, or alternatively, you could just pay the fine and court costs and have it go on your record.
Go ahead and like to have a trial,
Okay. Which type of trial would you like to have?
jury trial, sir.
And you understand you do have a right to an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Okay, we'll get you set up for that. And any questions about that?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, it looks like Dani is still meeting with the previous defendant, so just hang tight. Oh, she just finished. Let me get you over there now, okay?
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. All right, next up, we have John Sanchez Murillo. If you could unmute, John. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Let me get you in here real quick. Let's see. Okay, finally found you. All right, you have a case from January the 20th. It is an allegation of possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, with that, you do have that option, as you heard me say earlier, of pleading not guilty and contesting it. You do also have the option of doing the deferred, or alternatively, you have the option of just having it be a conviction. Any questions on those options?
Yes.
Okay. What questions do you have, sir?
Well, I want to go to trial and keep it off my record.
Okay. You want to plead not guilty and contest it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we will get that set up. Which type of trial would you like to have?
What are my options again?
You have an option of a trial before the court. With that, one of the judges, myself as a judge or one of our other judges, would hear the case, and we would make a determination of whether you're guilty or not guilty. The other type of trial is called a trial by jury, and that's different. It's 6 people, citizens from the city of Mansfield. They would come forward, and instead of the judge hearing it, they would hear all the facts and evidence, and then those 6 people would decide whether you're guilty or not guilty.
I will go with the first one.
Okay. And you understand also that you do have a right to an attorney. And if you want to hire an attorney, you can do so for this case.
Can you do a different disposition?
What does that mean?
Deferred.
Like deferred?
Yes, you have the option of deferred as well. Yes, sir.
Can we do that instead?
Okay. So you want to plead no contest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now with that, the fine and court costs total $336. Are you able to pay that?
At the moment, I'm not.
Okay. Is it a matter of needing time to pay it, or do you think you're not going to be able to pay it at all and you need to do community service instead?
Community service.
Okay. All right. Then I will order that you do a total of 16 hours. How long do you think that you need to get those completed?
We 60 days. 60 days.
Okay. And because of your age, sir, you will also need to write a paper. It's a 10-page paper that counts towards a statutory requirement for deferred for this type of offense. And the paper will be on the dangers of drug use by minors. That paper will need to be submitted to the court. And I will give you the same length of time, that 60 days, which is 2 months to get that done. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the deferred itself will be for a period of 90 days, okay? So from today's date for 90 days, no new offenses. Get that community service knocked out within 60 days, get that paper knocked out within 60 days, and then that will create dismissal of this case, and it will not create any kind of issue with your driver's license or being on your record or your criminal history or anything like that, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions for the court?
No, sir.
All right. I will get you over there to the breakout room. You'll see that pop up in just a moment. Thank you for being on Zoom with us today.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Zachary Klemple. If you could unmute. Klemple,
Yes, sir.
how are you today?
Good, sir. How are you?
We've had a lot of Zacharys today. I don't know why. Let's see here. You have one case pending before the court. It is a speeding allegation 79 in a 55. It's from January 7th. The allegation is that it happened in a workers present construction zone. And so you probably heard me say this earlier, but it makes you not eligible for that deferred option. You just have the go to trial option or the pay it and have it go on your record option. So any questions on that?
No, sir.
All right. And which would you like to do?
Trial by court, please.
Okay. And you understand you do have a right to an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions for the court?
No, sir.
All right. And it looks like Dani is still meeting with Mr. Sanchez Murillo. So just hang tight. When she's ready, she's going to send you that message that will say join. It'll take you over there to meet with her. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks for being here on Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Next up, we have Nosa Awergani. If you could please unmute. Are you there? How are you today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for asking. All right. Looks like that you have 3 pending cases. These are all from a violation date of January 13th.
Correct.
And one is a driving while license invalid. One is for not getting a license within 90 days, I guess, of moving to Texas. And then you have a speeding charge, which is for 85 and a 70. Do you understand all three of those charges?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And with that, do you have any questions about your options?
Yes. So before today, I was of the understanding that I was going to plead my case. But after you explained the purpose of this first initial hearing, I do have one question. I am a resident of New York State. However, my family lives in Texas. Hence me being in Texas at that time. If I was to go with the option of, just to pay it out, how would that affect the points on my New York State license?
Well, whenever you do anything in any state on a case, if your case is a dismissal, then it can't have any negative consequence. And so if you chose the deferred option and you were successful with the deferred, meaning the cases got dismissed, then it would have no negative impact on your future licensure in Texas or of your New York licensure.
Okay, so I guess my question is, if I choose to pay the fines and the court fees, of course, it's going to be a conviction. So how would that affect my New York State license?
Okay, so you're saying you don't want to keep these offenses off your record. You want them to go on your record.
No. I'm trying to look for the best possible way in which it doesn't go in my record, being that I'm from New York State and not a Texas resident.
Okay, well, let's remove a couple issues here. It matters not in terms of your eligibility for deferred that you are a New York citizen. That has nothing to do with your eligibility for deferred. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the only way it would go on your record is unless you choose for it to go on your record, which I will say to you is not something most people choose for it to become a conviction. Or if you choose the deferred, if you goof up your deferred, meaning if you get a new offense or you haven't paid or you violated your deferred in some way, that would be the only event by which it would become a conviction and it would cause a negative consequence. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so if I choose options of deferred and I say, okay, I need about 2 to 3 months to pay it off, and after payment, will that still be a negative conviction on my license?
No.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, any additional questions?
No.
All right, which of those options would you like to do?
The deferred option.
Okay. Is that for all three of the cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there are fine and court costs that total $901. Are you able to pay $901?
Within 90 days, yes.
Okay. All right, then we'll do this. We'll do a deferred for 120 days, okay? So from today's date for 120 days, no new offenses here in the city. And within 90 days, get that money paid, okay?
Yes, sir.
And as we discussed earlier, as long as you comply and you honor the orders of the court and you get that stuff done, then the cases, all three of them, will result in dismissal. And with that dismissal, they do not get reported on your driving record, reciprocal in Texas or in New York, okay?
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Any questions for the court?
No, that's all.
All right. I'll get you over at this time to meet with Dani, and you'll see that pop up now. Thanks for being on Zoom with us today.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Cameron Rossi. If you could unmute. Cameron.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let me get you pulled up here. All right. Cameron, you've got a case here for speeding. It is from February 15th, and it is for an allegation of 85 and a 35. Looks like with that, you are also under the age of 25. And so your options are that not guilty option and going to trial, the deferred option with a driving safety course because you're under 25. The last option is just simply to pay it. But if you just pay it, it does go on your record. So any questions about your options?
So I do have a question. If I do the not guilty, and then I go to court, and then so I was speeding, but I wasn't speeding to that extent. So if I go to court and fight that, would I still be able to from then do deferred, like if they decide that yes, I was going a lower speed than what's on my ticket?
If you were found guilty at trial for the speeding offense, there is no option after a finding of guilty for there to be a deferred to keep it off of your record. It would just become a permanent conviction on your record.
So my option would just be to do the deferred now then.
Yeah, for deferred purposes, yes, sir. You would do it now, or if you go to trial and you're found not guilty, that'd be the only other path forward for it to be off of your record.
Okay, then yes, sir. I would like to do the deferred.
Okay, all right. Now, with that, there are fine and court costs because of the speed that was over the limit that are pretty steep. It's 334. With that, are you able to pay that?
No. Could I be able to do the community service?
Yes, sir. With that, I'd have you do 16 hours.
Yes, sir.
How long do you think you need to get that completed, Cameron?
A month.
30 days. Okay. All right. And with that driving safety course, that 6-hour class done online, how long would you need to get that completed?
A month as well.
All right. Then I'm going to do a deferred for 90 days. So from today's date for 90 days, no new offenses here in the city. Okay. Get that 16 hours community service knocked out within a month and get that class knocked out within a month. And then that will create dismissal of this case. And then it will not appear as a conviction, will not go on your record. Okay.
Yes, sir. And then would the community service and then the online class be discussed in the next room?
Absolutely, yes. Dani's going to go over with you how to document those community service hours. She's also going to give you information on the class. And then she's also going to update your contact information to make sure that she can send you all the paperwork. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. And Cameron, you should slow down. Yeah.
I was not, but it's over.
I know, but 50 miles. Slow down, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. You'll see that pop up in just a second. It'll take you to go meet with her.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Isaac Concha, you're next. Isaac, if you could unmute.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. You have just one case pending before the court, and it's an allegation of speeding, 69 and a 45. This is an allegation from February the 8th of this year. I do see that you're under 25, and I hope you've been listening. But with that, your options are to go to trial. You also have the option of doing the deferred. Because of your age, you would also have to take a driving safety course. And lastly, you could just pay it. But if you do that, it does create a conviction. So any questions on those options?
No, sir.
Okay. And which of those options would you like to do, Isaac?
The deferred disposition.
Okay. Now, with that, how long do you think you need to take that class, that driving safety course?
30 days.
Okay. All right. And the fine and court costs, they total $289. Are you able to pay that, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. With that, would you like to do community service instead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're a student?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, with that, I would have you do 14 hours of community service. How long do you think you need to get that completed?
Can I have 60 days?
Okay. All right. So let's do this. We're going to do a 90-day deferred. So from today's date for 90 days, you must not get any new offenses here in Mansfield, okay? Within 60 days, get that 14 hours community service completed, and within 30 days, get that course completed, okay? All right. Do you have any questions for the court?
No.
All right. Thanks for being on Zoom, and you'll see that pop up in just a moment.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Peggy Maselli. If you could please unmute. Peggy.
Okay.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Okay. How are you?
I'm good. All right. Looks like that you have just one case pending before the court, and it looks like that it's a code violation. And let's see here. It reads, property maintenance code violation for an exterior areas and accessory buildings. I'm not really sure what the charge is. Do you understand what the charge is?
Yes, sir. It was the fence.
Ah, okay. All right.
Ran through my yard.
I'm going to go look at the citation, because the citation sometimes will give me more details. With code violations, ma'am, these are ordinance violations of the city. And it looks like for yours, it's one for.
Well, there was this drunk man ran through my yard, so he knocked over the fence and a bunch of my trees. Yes, I don't know what that's called.
Okay, I am not seeing. Oh, yes, I do. I was not scrolling down far enough. Hold on. Okay, the notes from the code officer read, fence not maintained as structurally sound nor in good repair is what they said here. All right. So with that, it is a violation of the International Property Maintenance Code, section 302.7. So you understand what you're charged with for that?
I think.
Okay. All right. Now, with that, you have options. You have the option of pleading not guilty. If you want to contest this charge, you can do the deferred option, where with the deferred, you have to not get any new violations, pay your fine and court cost, and then if you are successful, the case gets dismissed. The last option is just to pay the fine and court cost, but if you do that, it does create a conviction. So, which of those options would you like to do?
Not guilty.
Okay. Now, with your not guilty plea, which type of trial would you like to have?
I know you said you had to repeat it. Is before the judge or people?
You're on the right track. Yep. You can either have a trial by the court where the judge would hear it, or you can have a trial by a jury where 6 citizens from the city would hear your case and they would determine whether you're guilty or not guilty.
Yes, sir. The judge.
Okay. All right. And you probably heard me say this like a broken record, but you also have a right to an attorney. And if you want to hire an attorney to represent you for this case, you can do so. Okay. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay. Now, I will let you know, ma'am, that at your next court date, you're going to have an opportunity on that date, if you would like, to meet with the prosecuting attorney. And on code cases, if you have gotten your property into compliance, meaning you have corrected the issue that they're alleging you committed, you can bring forth proof of that to show to that prosecutor. And sometimes that leads to other outcomes for the case besides going to trial. If you do come to that next court date and you have corrected the problem, make sure to have proof to show her when you guys sit down to talk, okay?
Okay. I did send ahead some pictures to the court, I think.
Okay.
It had been corrected, so.
All right. If you did send some pictures to the court, then I'm sure that they have those in the file, yes, and they can share those with the prosecutor when you guys do meet. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any additional questions?
No, sir. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for being on Zoom. It was nice to talk with you. And you'll see that pop up in just a second. That will take you to go meet with our Court Administrator Dani. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. Next up, we have Darius Ballou. If you could unmute, Darius.
Join here.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
All right, Darius. Looks like you just have one case pending before the.
Okay, so before we get going with Darius, I found this case really interesting, and I just think it's a cute sort of case. Anyways, let's see what Darius is here for. This is Darius up here.
Court and it is a theft of property case. This is from an allegation of January the 3rd. You've heard all those options earlier. Do you have any questions about your options?
Just what will the deferred process look like for me?
With that, you'd have to not get new offenses, and you'd have to stay away from the location where the theft occurred, and you'd have to pay your fine and court costs, or if you're not able to do that, then do community service hours.
Okay, yeah, I can just pay that.
Okay. Where was the location where this theft occurred?
It was at Walmart.
Okay. And the fine and court costs, the $321, you're saying you're able to pay that today, is that correct?
Could I just have like a week or two?
Okay. We'll do 30 days, okay?
Okay.
All
And
right.
then it's not gonna be on my record because it's like I'm Canadian, so when I was in Mansfield visiting my grandma, like usually like the scales weigh stuff in Canada. So I think there was a mix up there, and then that's when it happened. So I'm just wondering, like it's not gonna affect me coming back across the border.
So the question is, what he's trying to say is in Canada at the self checkout at Walmart, you weigh your own items. There's a scale built into the self checkout, and say you buy a zucchini, you type in zucchini, it'll pick out the number. It says, wait, please place item on scale. You lift it up, you put it on the scale, and you sort of stand back a minute and you wait, and then it spits out a price. And then you put it in your bag, and you do that with all fruits and vegetables, really, things that don't come in packages, things that don't have barcodes. I think what he's saying is that he tried to use the scale option and didn't realize that it didn't weigh out. So in my opinion, he probably should plead not guilty, but it's also such a small thing. Anyways, everyone else looks confused, but that is how it works here in Canada. You weigh the items. I don't know if it's different in the States, but if you guys could let me know in the comments, I'd love to know. But let's see what else Darius and Judge Callaway have to say.
Well, I don't know exactly what immigration issues you may have. I can't attest to those, but I will tell you that with a deferred disposition, if you're successful, it creates a dismissal of the case, meaning that it would not be a conviction. But if you have other issues related to your immigration, I can't really attest to those.
Oh yeah, everything else is smooth, so I just gotta pay that, and then like I'm not even in the country, so.
Okay, as long as you don't get new offenses, you stay away from Walmart and get that money paid, they will create a dismissal of the case.
Great, thank you.
All right, any additional questions?
No, sir, thank you so much for your time.
Sure. Now, it looks like Dani is still meeting with the previous defendant, so just hang tight, and she's going to send you a message when she's done, and that'll say join. Click on that. It'll take you to meet with her, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Jeremiah McAdams, if you could unmute.
Sir,
Good afternoon. How are you?
doing great. How are you doing?
Good, good. You're in a very fancy room. Where are you at?
Just at the house.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see here. You've got one case pending. It is for speeding, an allegation of 80 in the 55. This is from January 10th. You've probably heard all the options. Do you have any questions about your options?
No, sir.
Okay. And which of those options would you like to do?
Not guilty. Trial by court.
Okay. Get that in the system here. And you understand you do have a right to an attorney.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions for the court?
No, sir.
Okay. It looks like Dani just brought over Darius. Should be talking with him, and then she'll bring you over when she's done with Darius. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right. Next up, we have Amy Aravallo. If you could please unmute, Amy.
Yes,
How are you today?
I'm good.
All right. Looks like you have just one case pending, and it is from January 28th. And it looks like it's a charge of disregarding a red light And with that, it looks like you're under 25. So your options are to go to trial and contest it, do the deferred option with driving safety course, or alternatively, just paying it. So any questions on those options?
Yes. So I wanted to ask two questions. One of them is there any way like to pay for it with a reduction, or also with the community hours? Is it dependent on how much the fine is, or like what
Yeah.
determines those things?
Yes, the community service hours, the number that you would do is based off of the fine amount that you owe. In your case, you would only have to do 12 hours of community service.
And then how much was the fee?
$257.
Okay. Is there like certain places that we're supposed to go to for the community service?
Yes, any non-profit agency, essentially any community organization that's doing a service to the community and they're not a profit business, you can do it at. That could be Salvation Army, the United Way, food pantries, homeless shelters, animal shelters, things like that.
Okay. Yes, I think I would opt for that option.
Okay. All right, then we'll get you set up. With your deferred, how long do you think you need to take that driving safety course?
A month should be good.
Okay, and then that 12 hours community service, how long do you think you can get that completed?
Would it be possible to do 2 months?
60, okay.
Yes.
All right, and then we're going to do this. We're going to do a 90-day deferred, okay? And with that 90 days, you must not receive any new violations during the period of that deferred. Within 60 days, get that community service knocked out. Within 30 days, get your class knocked out, okay?
Okay.
And if you do that, then it creates automatic dismissal. Then, in this case, it is a moving violation, would not go on your record.
Okay, so just to summarize, it's within the month to finish the online classes, then in 2 months finish the community service, and 90 days to stay clear with everything.
That's exactly right. You got it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, looks like Dani's meeting with Mr. McAdams now, so just hang tight, and then she'll bring you over there when she's ready, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Isabella Ferrante, you're next. Isabella? Are you there?
Hi.
Okay, let's see what we have going. All right, Isabella, you have a case here. For speeding, it's 71 and a 55. You're in that boat where it's workers present, and so because of that, you're not eligible for the deferred option. So you have the option of going to trial and contesting it. You also have the option of simply just paying it, but if you do that, it does create a conviction and it would go on your record.
Okay, yeah, just quick question. I actually already did pay the ticket. I think it was like $337. So since I already paid that,
Did you go online and pay that today or something?
I paid it like a week after I got the ticket.
Ah, okay.
So I didn't know. Basically, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I can do to get it off my record and from raising my insurance. But I did already pay it, so I didn't know if since I already paid it, I can't do that,
Well, unfortunately, when you've paid the citation, that translates into a conviction if you just go online and just pay it, okay?
Okay.
And because you did it over 30 days ago, you can't undo it, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
So it's essentially a final conviction. So it's for intents and purposes, there's nothing that can be done at this point to keep it off your record. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. But having said that, you weren't eligible for the deferred anyway, right? Because it was workers present. So what that will mean is the case is closed. You don't have to do anything else, and it will be a conviction.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for being on Zoom with us.
Yes, sir.
All right, Alexis Walker, you're next. Good afternoon.
Hello.
All right. Okay, I think you just have one case, it looks like, and it's for motor vehicle registration expired.
Yes, sir.
With this charge, you have those options we discussed earlier of pleading not guilty and contesting it. You can do the deferred, keep it off your record, or just have it go on your record. You have an additional option too. These are offenses that are called compliance dismissal offenses. And if you go get your vehicle registered, and if you go get the vehicle registered and pay the late penalty fee to the tax assessor's office, then we can dismiss the case with a $20 administrative fee. With that, you would have to go to the DMV, get your vehicle inspected, get the registration completed, pay that late penalty fee, and bring us back that proof, and that would create dismissal. Now, if you can't do that, say it's not your vehicle or the vehicle's been destroyed or some other issue, then you can simply do the no contest, which is the deferred option to keep it off your record, go to trial and contest it is an option still, or simply just pay it. So any questions on those options?
No, sir.
Okay, which of those options would you like to do?
The one that you said where I could just go to the DMV and go get it done.
Okay.
I didn't remember what you said, but that one.
All right, then I will do this. We'll give you a 30-day extension to get that registration proof to the court, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's very important when you go forward and you go get that registration done, it's very important that when you do that, that you pay that late penalty fee, okay? It's $8 or $10 typically. When you go there, they generally will ask you the question, have you received any citations? And then they'll charge that fee. If they fail to ask you that, make sure to tell them that you got one because we can't dismiss without that $8 or $10 fee being paid, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. So any questions about your options?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Then we'll give you that 30-day extension. In a moment, Ms. Walker, you're going to see that pop up that will read join. Click on it. It'll take you to meet with Dani. She'll get you that extension, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Philip Cabrera. You are next. Philip?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Not too bad. How about you, sir?
Good. I need to spell your last name right here. There we go. All right, Philip, looks like you have just one case pending. It's a theft of property case. With that theft of property case, you have those options as discussed earlier. Any questions on those options?
No, sir. I know the options I want.
Okay, which of those would you like to do?
No contest deferred.
Okay. What was the location of the theft?
Walmart Mansfield.
Okay. During the period of the deferred, you have to stay away from Walmart, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, the fine and court costs, they total $321. Are you able to pay that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you need any time to pay that?
Ideally, if I could have the 30 days, that'd be great.
Okay. All right, I will grant that. Now, with that, the deferred itself will be for 90 days, okay? So from today's date for 90 days, no new offenses in the city of Mansfield. Get the stay away from Walmart during that 90 days, and then, of course, get that money paid within 30 days. If you get all of that done, it does create dismissal, and the case will be not appearing on your criminal record history, okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions for the court?
No, sir.
All right. Now, Philip, just hang tight for a second. It looks like Ms. Walker's still meeting with Dani, but when she's concluded that, she'll send you that message to come over to the breakout room, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, next up, we have Mr. Bayless. If you could unmute, I'm sending you a message to unmute.
What's going on, Judge?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing good. You?
Mr. Bayless, how tall are you?
I'm about like 6'4".
Okay. Well, a minute ago, you stepped up to go out the door, and your head almost hit the door, and I thought, my gosh, he must be tall.
Yes, sir. I'm a football player.
Okay. I mean, it was like the door seemed like maybe you had like a tiny door in your house or something.
No.
All right, let's see here. You have just one case pending. It is for from January 5th, and it's for possession of tobacco by a minor. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, with that, do you have any questions about your options?
No, sir. I would like to do the deferred option.
Okay. All right. Now, we'll let you know, Mr. Bayless, that it is required by state law that if you are doing the deferred because of your age, you also have to take a class. It's called a tobacco awareness class. And it's pretty easy. You just done online and you get a certificate back and you submit it to the court, and that's a requirement of the deferred. With that class, how long do you think you need to take it?
Could I get 60 days?
Okay, I'll grant that. So let's do a 90-day deferred, okay?
Okay.
With 60 days to complete.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, there are fine and court costs that total $246. Are you able to pay that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you need any time to pay that?
Yes, sir. Can I get 60 days as well?
Yes, sir. All right. So the deferred will be for 90 days. From today's date for 90 days, no new offenses here in the city, okay?
Yes, sir.
Get that 246 paid within 60 days, get the class knocked out within 60 days, and then that'll create dismissal of this case. Won't cause a license suspension or any negative consequences, okay?
Ooh.
All right. Any questions for the court?
No, sir. I appreciate everything.
All right. Well, just hang tight. Danny's meeting with Mr. Cabrera still, and when she's done, she'll bring you over, okay?
Okay. Guys, appreciate it, Judge.
Thank you. Next up, we have Stets, S-T-E-T-S, if you could unmute.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Looks like you have two cases pending with the court. They're both from February 14th. One is a no insurance, and one is a motor vehicle registration expired. Both of these cases, Ms. Stets, are compliance dismissable cases. And if you had insurance on Feb 14 and you just didn't have the proof to show to the officer, you can submit your insurance card to the court now, and the court staff would call the insurance company and verify it. And if it was good on February 14th, then state law requires the case be dismissed. So that's called a compliance dismissal. With the motor vehicle registration, the same is true. If you go get the registration completed and you pay the late penalty fee to the state of Texas, then that case can be dismissed with a $20 administrative fee. If you are not able to do the compliance dismissal option, you also have the option of pleading not guilty and taking it to trial and contesting the cases, doing the no contest deferred option, or simply paying them. So of those options, do you have any questions?
So I've already completed those. I stopped into the courthouse and I gave them the documents stating that I had that my insurance or my registration tab had been already purchased and on my car, and they have the paperwork for that. And then also regarding the insurance, I paid my agent on February 9th regarding the insurance, and there was the way that the program is set up, there was a computer issue on their end, and then on my end, it was a technical issue with trying to get a video of my car and submitting that to their website. I had to do a 360 video of my car. So that was the issue with that, and that has been resolved, and I gave them that information.
Ms. Stets, are you there?
No, where are they? Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
A call came in. I don't think I'm on. I can't hear you still though.
I'm here.
Shoot, I can see you talking, but I can't hear you. Is that right? Can you hear me now? No?
She hung up on us.
Okay.
All
Is
right,
that
now, can you hear us now?
I'm so sorry about that.
Okay,
Okay.
well, Ms. Stets, I looked into our file here, and it looks like that you did submit insurance proof. We called the insurance company, and the insurance company said that you did not have insurance until February 28th. The offense date was February 14th.
14th. Yes, I paid for it on the 9th, and there's a letter from my insurance agent stating that that was submitted at the time that I was there at the court. And the registration was submitted
But again,
as well.
Ms. Stets, I can't argue with you about the facts here. The facts are that the proof you provided to us when we contacted the insurance company said that you did not have insurance until February 28th. They said that in the letter you gave to us, it specifically reads that.
Yes, it does read that. It also reads I paid on February 9th. So.
Well, Ms. Stets, what would you like to do with your two cases?
Well, the registration, there's proof as well there with that. That was taken care of as well. So,
hold on one moment. Dani, do we have proof in the file of that? Because I'm not seeing that scanned in. I see insurance scanned in, but I'm not seeing registration scanned in. There's a driver's license and TCM, and then there's the insurance, and I don't see that registration got in there.
Yeah, it was in there. It is in there. It's just in only that corresponding case. It's not on they didn't attach it to the insurance ticket.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So that one has been taken care of, and she paid the $20 fee.
Okay, so I don't see that either here. Okay.
If you go to disposition and look at the pending to your right-hand side.
Okay, hold on. I don't even show that even scheduled today. I see that on March 15th, it looks like.
Yeah, that's just because the deposit hasn't been processed yet. So
okay.
Not until then.
I got you. Okay, because there's still a balance of 144 that I saw.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so good news, Ms. Stets. The registration case has been taken care of. That means that proof is in there, and you paid the $20, and so that case is done. So the only case that's remaining is that insurance case. So what would you like to do with that case?
I don't know what my options are. I thought that, from what the officer told me, I thought that once it was paid and that I had proof of insurance, that it would be taken care of. So I don't understand what else I need to do.
Well, your options are these. The number one option, as I discussed earlier, was that you can provide proof that you had insurance on February 14th at the time of driving. And the court, by state law, has to call and verify. And if it is verified, then state law requires that case be dismissed. That's one option. The other option is to plead not guilty and to contest your case. If you believe you did have insurance, you have a right to a trial. It's up to the state of Texas to prove this case against you. The third option is you can do a deferred disposition. And with deferred disposition, you have to pay your fine and court costs, and you must not receive any new offenses while you're on the deferred disposition. And if you achieve those things, then the case gets dismissed and does not become a conviction and does not go on your record. The last option is just simply to pay your fine and court costs. However, if you do that, it does create a conviction and the case would go on your record. So those are the options available to you.
So option 3, what is the fee that would need to be paid for that?
The total fine and court cost is $321.
So payment for the insurance, and then the whole technicalities of trying to get it downloaded and everything, that doesn't matter that I paid it on February 9th?
That is correct, because your insurance company, the letter you submitted to the court, it reads on there that you did not have insurance coverage. They would not confirm you, and we could not verify insurance.
However, the agent did write that it was paid, that he received the money on February 9th.
Again, payment for the insurance is a great first step, right? But if they are the insurance company and they have certain rules and procedures, For instance, if you had gotten into a car accident on February 14th, the insurance company would not have paid the claim. You did not have insurance according to your insurance company. So that's what the state law is allowing, is if you had insurance and you had coverage, state law allows for dismissal. It actually requires dismissal. In your situation, your insurance company is telling us, and the phone call that was made to the insurance company is that they would not have covered you. You did not have insurance at the time. So for those purposes, it would not lead to dismissal of the case per the state law.
All right, so then I guess I don't have any other option but to pay it.
No, ma'am, that's not true. Let's go over your options again. You have the option of providing proof of insurance coverage. That's one option. That creates a dismissal. You have the option of pleading not guilty and trying the case. You have a constitutionally protected right to go to trial. If you go to trial and you're found not guilty, then the offense does not go on your record and you don't have to pay any fine and court costs. If you go to trial and you are found guilty, then the opposite is true. You would pay and it would go on your record. You have a deferred option to keep it off your record, and that's where you don't get new offenses, you pay your fine and court cost, and then you get a dismissal. So you're not required to pay the case and have it become a conviction. You have a lot of options.
All right, so I guess I'll go to court then.
Okay. With that, which type of trial would you like to have?
I don't know what kind of trials there are.
Well, one type of trial is called a trial by jury, and that would be where 6 people from the city of Mansfield, citizens, would come forward and they would hear all the facts and the evidence, and they would make a determination of whether you're guilty or not guilty. The other type of trial is a trial before the court, and that's where the judge would hear the case, and the judge would decide whether you're guilty or not guilty.
Yeah. Okay. So isn't that kind of what's happening right now, though? Talking with you? Okay. I mean...
No, we are not having a trial today.
Okay. So I guess I'll go that route then. What?
Well, again, my question's a yes or no, or just one or the other. You have to decide which type of trial. Which type of trial would you like to have?
So non-jury?
Okay. And do you understand that you do have a right to have an attorney represent you during this process?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, any questions, Ms. Stutz, for the court about what we've gone over?
So if I'm found guilty at that trial, and the evidence of payment is not accepted, so then do I still have an option to have a deferred payment at all, or is it possible for that amount to be lowered at all?
If you go to trial and you are found guilty, meaning the state of Texas does prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, there is no deferred option at that point.
Okay, so then the deferred option would I guess be that one that I would want to do, because so I'll do the deferred option. But is it possible to have the payment be lowered at all?
No, the fine and court costs are $321. However, if you are not able to pay that, we can convert that money into community service hours. I'm glad to do that.
Okay, I would love to do that.
Okay, then I'll have you do 16 hours of community service. How long do you think you need to get that completed?
Probably like 3 weeks.
Okay, let's do a month, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, I'll place you on a deferred. It'll be for a period of 60 days. So from today's date for 60 days, you must not get any new offenses here in Mansfield, okay? Within 30 days, get that money paid. And if you achieve that, the case will dismiss at the end automatically. It will not go on your Texas driving record. It won't cause you any kind of suspension of your license or anything like that.
So the community service hours, is that in lieu of paying the money?
I'm sorry. Yes, community service hours within that 30-day period.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any additional questions, Ms. Stutz?
Is there any documents that I need to have to prove the community service hours?
Yes, there are.
Okay, and where do I get those from?
In a moment, you're going to speak with Dani Soria, who's our court administrator, and she's going to go over all of that with you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
All right. Any additional questions?
No, sir.
Okay. She'll be there with you in just a second, and you'll see a pop-up on your screen that will read join. And please click on that. It'll take you to meet with her.